everybody, it's Miss Cate. Thanks for coming to Pajama Storytime. I'm so glad to see you. Today I have my special Pride glasses on. I also have my eyeglasses on. But I have the Pride eyeglasses on because today is a special Pride Storytime. I'm so glad that you came. Because Pride is all about celebrating yourself and how unique you are, and celebrating other people and how unique they are, and being comfortable. Because when you're comfortable with yourself, that means you get to feel comfortable no matter where you are, what you're doing, what your choices are, and who you might love. So we're glad to celebrate and feel pride today. So I have 2 books to read, and then we'll do some breathing, because it's all about feeling comfortable and being proud of yourself. All right, so the first story is called Worm Loves Worm. The book was written by J.J. Austrian, and it was illustrated by Mike Corrado. Do you know the Elliott books? He illustrated those too. So this one's called Worm Loves Worm. Don't they look like they're really happy? Yeah. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Worm Loves Worm. Looks like it's gonna be a good one. Worm loves worm. And there they are. Let's be married, said worm to worm. Yes, answered worm. Let's be married. So exciting. Wait, said cricket. There's cricket. You'll need someone to marry you. That's how it's always been done. I'll marry you. He looks like he's ready. Okay, said worm. Now can we be married? Wait, said beetle. There's beetle. You've got to have a best beetle. Naturally, that would be me. Can you see beetle? He's all dressed up. Have you ever been to a wedding and you got dressed up like that? Yeah, me too. Look at worm and worm. They look like they really love each other, huh? Yeah. Okay, said worm and worm, you can be our best beetle. Now can we be married? Wait, 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 say the bees. You need brides bees. Can we be the brides bees? Please, please, please. Do you think that's how bees say please? Probably. Maybe that's what they're saying to the flowers. Please, please. I don't know. Well, worm and worm say, yes, you can be the bride's bees. Now can we be married? You'll need to get rings to wear on your fingers, says cricket. That's how it's always been done. But we don't have fingers, say worm. Well, we could wear them like belts, says worm. Wonderful, says worm. Now we can be married. Do you see the ring? Isn't that funny? That was a good idea. It's very shiny. Just make sure to have a band so we can dance, said beetle. Oh look, there's a little band. See them? I think it's ants. Yeah, a little ant band. Maybe for dancing in your pants. You need a band. So you need a band so we can dance. But we don't have feet to dance with, said worm. Hey, said worm. Hey, we can just wiggle around like this. Fun, says worm. Now we can be married. Look what they're doing. They're dancing. They're wiggling their bodies. Are they doing the worm? Do you know that dance? Have you ever seen anyone do the worm? Now you know why it's called that. There they are, wiggling. That's a good idea. Doing the worm, getting ready to be married. But you still need a white dress, a tuxedo, a top hat, lots and lots of flowers, and a cake with frosting, said the bees. But we don't have heads for hats, said Worm. We don't have hands to hold flowers. We only eat dirt, says Worm. We don't eat cake. Wait, said Spider. See, Spider, I can attach the hat and the flower to you with my sticky web. Well, thank you, said Worm and Worm. That was pretty helpful, right? Right on, Spider. But who will eat the cake? Asked the bees. I can eat the cake along with Spider and Cricket, said. Along with Cricket and Beetle, said Spider. She can eat the cake along with Cricket and Beetle. Wait, what did you say? Asked Cricket and Beetle. Oh, nothing, said Spider. She being silly. She gonna eat more than the cake? I hope not. Look, she made a beautiful wedding dress from her web. Now we can be married, said Worm. Is that good? I think it's almost time. But which one of you is the bride? Asked the bees. How can we be bride's bees if we don't know who the bride is? Well, I can be the bride, said Worm. And I can too, says Worm. That's a good idea, right? But one of you has got to be the groom. Or how can I be the best beetle, asked Beetle. I can be the groom, said Worm. And I can too, said Worm. We can put both. There they are. Amazing, says Spider. Really? Asked Beetle and the bees. I think that's a pretty good idea, right? Wait, says Cricket. That isn't how it's always been done. Well, then we'll just change how it's done, says Worm. Yes, says Worm. They look pretty happy, don't you think? And so they were married because Worm loves Worm. They look really happy, don't you think? Do you think they're proud to be married? I think they are too. They're proud to love each other and be just themselves. Yay. I like that one a lot. Worm loves a worm. That's a good one. Now I have another one. You're gonna like this one too. This one is called Bunny Bear. You ready? Here it is. Bunny Bear. Do you see the bear? Do you see lots of bunnies? This book is written by Andrea Loney, and it was illustrated by Carmen Saldana. It's really good. So let's find out what happens with Bunny Bear. Here's Bunny Bear. This is a sweet picture. Bunny Bear looks happy. There was once a bear who was more than a bear. Do you see? Yep. Sure, he was shaggy, stompy like most bears. And he could be loud, very loud, if he wanted to be. But when he was alone, he loved to bounce through the forest, wiggle his nose, and nibble on strawberries. It made him feel free and light and happy other bears didn't understand Bunny Bear. They thought he was odd. "What are you doing?" they growled. "Stop hopping around and catch these fish. Stop twitching your nose and go eat your meat. Stop just sitting there and stand up like a bear." Are they telling him how to be? Yeah. Sometimes people forget that that's how they want to be. But Bunny Bear wants to be Bunny Bear, right? Right. So Bunny Bear left the den without even telling his mama. He bounced through the forest and into the meadow. Then, right there in a patch of tasty flowers, he saw it, a bunny. He tried to say hello, but the rabbit raced away, and Bunny Bear bounced after. Do you see Bunny Bear? She's bouncing after the rabbit. Yep. Underground, Bunny Bear saw the most beautiful sight, an entire family of bunnies. They were tiny, fluffy, and bouncy, like Bunny Bear's heart. "What are you doing here?" whispered one of the bunnies. Bunny whispers were one of Bunny Bear's favorite sounds. "Me? I'm just one of the bunnies," said Bunny Bear. But he said it a little too loudly. The bunnies giggled. Bunny giggles were also one of Bunny Bear's favorite sounds, but not when the giggles were about him. That doesn't feel good when someone's laughing and giggling about you, right? Right. They made Bunny Bear feel cramped and fidgety. The oldest bunny looked down his long nose at Bunny Bear. "You don't look like a bunny. You don't sound like a bunny. And you certainly don't smell like a bunny." But Bunny Bear gasped, "I feel bouncy and fluffy and tiny. See?" And he wriggled his tail and he bounced, but his bounces were a little too big. "I think you should go," said the oldest bunny. There he goes. Do you think he's sad? Yeah. Poor Bunny Bear. All alone and covered with dirt, Bunny Bear curled up against a tree and sighed. He didn't feel like a bear, and he didn't look like a bunny. What was Bunny Bear to do? Do you have any ideas? It's hard when you don't feel proud of yourself and you don't feel comfortable, right? Just then, he felt a poke on his paw. When he looked down, he saw a bunny. Only this bunny was more than a bunny. Grizzly Bun, she roared. "You're awfully loud for a bunny," said Bunny Bear. "I'm no bunny," said Grizzly Bun. "I'm a bear." What? Nose to nose with Grizzly Bun, Bunny Bear asked, "Are you sure you're a bear?" course I am, said Grizzly Bun. I'm burly and loud, and I eat whatever I want. That certainly sounds like a bear, said Bunny Bear. Really? Whispered Grizzly Bun. I mean, really? Yes, said Bunny Bear. You just look one way on the outside, and you feel another way on the inside. And that's okay. I'm sure glad you're here, said Grizzly Bun. Really? Said Bunny Bear, but I scared everyone else. Not me, said Grizzly Bun. When I see you, I feel more like me. Grizzly Bun's words made Bunny Bear's heart bounce with joy. He gave her the biggest, bunniest bear hug ever. That might be the best hug I've ever seen. What about you? Do you think so? It's a good hug. Yay. So, Bunny Bear and Grizzly Bun found the perfect place to be themselves. They played and they giggled and they roared with laughter. And they weren't just bunnies or bears. They were friends. They were happy until... Roar, said Mama Bear. Where have you been? She growled. Uh-oh. Is she missing Bunny Bear? Yeah. I found a new friend, Mama, and she likes me just the way I am. His mother gave him the biggest, coziest Mama Bear hug ever. So happy for you, my sweet Bunny Bear, she said in her berry whisper. Well done, my ferocious Grizzly Bun, said the oldest bunny. Let's go home. And the next day, the bunnies threw a party and all the animals in the forest were invited. And finally, Bunny Bear felt like he belonged. Look at that party. That looks awesome. Look what they're eating, carrots and cheese. What else? Strawberries. So fun. Yay, Bunny Bear. Feels good when you get to feel proud of yourself and meet other people that accept you just the way you are, right? That makes you part of a big family, right? Right. So since we talked about bunnies and bears, I thought since the pajama story time, we could start to get ready for bed. And we can do some bunny breathing and some bear breathing. Does that sound good? And then we'll say goodnight. All right, remember we talked about bunnies. They wiggle their noses and they breathe. So to bunny breathe, you do 5 little breaths and you can wiggle your nose. And you do 5 breaths in and then 1 long whoosh out. Do you want to try it? All right, here we go. Does it feel like that's how a bunny would sniff? All right. Whenever you want to calm down and feel like a bunny, you could try some bunny breaths. But what about bear breaths? Do you want to feel bigger and proud? You could try that too. So you take a big breath in and then growl it out. Are you ready? Let's breathe like bears. Let's do it again. You ready? Big breath in. And then growl it out. You ready? Let's try one more, breathing like a bear. Here we go. So whether you feel like a bear or you feel like a bunny, you can breathe your way to being comfortable and ready for bed. Well, thanks for coming to Pride Pajama Storytime. We read 2 books, Bunny Bear and Worm Loves Worm. There's lots more Pride books you could ask for at the library. So please visit our website, readingpl.org, and see if there's more that we can get arranged for you to pick up at curbside pickup. And don't forget, the books we read today count 15 minutes towards their summer reading. So visit our website, find out more about summer reading, log your summer reading time, and ask for more books. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.